Down to another big story, exclusive new developments of the Catholic Church sex abuse story involving Father Patrick Watney.
Watney was removed from ministry yesterday for admitting to sexual abuse of a minor. And today, eyewitness investigator David Hammer and our partners at the Times-Picayune have learned that Watney was also sending inappropriate texts to underage boys at a Slidell High School just a few months ago.
For years, Archbishop Greg Amond has said sexual abuse of minors by New Orleans area priests was a thing of the distant past.
It's been more than a decade when we have had somebody come forward and say, at the present time, I'm accusing Father so-and-so.
This week, that all changed.
Please don't tell us that the issue is not ongoing. Please don't insult our intelligence and tell us the issue is not at hand.
Bill Arata is an attorney representing the family of a boy still attending Pope John Paul II High School in Slidell. He says the boy exchanged 90 pages of texts with the school's former chaplain, Patrick Watney.
Inappropriately contacting students in the middle of the night, offering up gifts, lunches. There are things that just are outside the realm of what is normal for contact between a priest and a child.
On Thursday, Amond placed Watney on his list of priests credibly accused of sexual abuse after Watney himself reported that he had abused a minor in a separate incident in 2013. But the texts were from this year, as recent as July. In a statement, the Archdiocese said it reviewed the text messages in February and more later this year and found them, quote, overly familiar in tone, but they contain no sexual reference or innuendo. The church said the texts violated archdiocesan policies and Watney was asked to resign as school chaplain. The Archdiocese says Watney underwent, quote, assessments for professional insight. The church said it was that evaluation that led Watney to disclose the abuse he committed in 2013, which the Archdiocese said it was not aware of previously. But Arata is also the parent of a Pope John Paul student, and he feels more could have been done earlier to get Watney away from kids.
When you act when you first hear about a thing, not 8 months later. These are our children. We entrust our children to you.
David Hammer, Eyewitness News.
Watney declined to comment on the phone. The church said it had no reason to believe that Watney had sexually abused anyone until he disclosed the 2013 incident yesterday.